Dan Phone for Pro Boxing fans. It is getting on to 2 in the morning in Manchester here, and I'm joined by Afghan Dan. Made this misfit debut tonight against Little T. We'll come on to the fight, Dan, but I just want you to reflect on what I'm sure has been a crazy week, a surreal week. Talk me through it from the start of the fight week. In fact, from when you first got the call to fight Little T to the fight week, just sum it all up for me.
She sat in my room playing Rocket League, and I got a phone call about just gone midnight, and I was here this guy, and he was like, "Yo, do you want to fight Little T?" And I had to turn all my Xbox off, and I was like, "Hello, can you say that again?" He was like, "Yeah, mate, it's Mams from Sidemen or Misfits." And he's like, "Yo, I was wondering if you wanted to fight Little T for 10 grand." And I was like, "Yeah, of course I would, mate." So, you know. But he told us from that point actually that we only had 2 weeks. So the event was going to take place on the 18th of January. We found out 2 weeks before that.
2 weeks.
Swear down. But so we've agreed, I've signed the contract and everything in the 2 weeks, and we did it, man. So me and Little T, it's fair to say we both had the same amount of training in it. We both had the same amount of time, same amount of notice.
Was it ever anything that crossed your mind to step into boxing, or was it the fact that, you know, everyone, that you've had this long running history with Little T, did it just feel right?
It felt right, and 100% it felt right. Yeah, of course it was. It was that there. It was a Little T beef, and I think my mate Gio actually mentioned the idea from Blackpool. He's in my corner tonight, and he was like, "Yo, do you want to fight Little T?" This is months ago, and I was like, "Yeah." So he made like a mock-up poster of me and him since Tommy Fury dropped out of his fight, and then he posted that picture on Instagram, and yeah, everyone was liking it and everything like that, but nothing was confirmed. So and then like you fast track 3 months later, and we got a contract in it, and it was all official. It was actually happening. So yeah, man, that's how it came about.
So you mentioned there you had a couple of weeks' notice. What sort of training are you even doing? Is it just a matter of trying to get fit, maybe learn how to throw a jab? What are you even like doing with such small notice?
I didn't even know how to throw a jab 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so my trainer from Nottingham, I was travelling from Mansfield to Nottingham. We're doing some bag work, some sparring. This is my trainer, the Play Mantis Cryptic. I do some bag work, sparring, and just load of cardio really. Treadmill.
Shout out your coach, shout out your trainer getting you prepped for it. So let's come on to the actual fight week, starting at the press conference on Thursday. I mean, we spoke about off camera there, and you said you weren't too nervous for the fight itself, but press conferences are slightly different. I mean, that's something you can't really replicate. Were you nervous for that at all? What was going through your head going into the press conference?
I was, especially for the first one, because me and Little T hadn't had much dialogue before going to that press conference. So when he turned up there, I didn't know what he was going to say, I didn't know what I was going to say. So yeah, man, we just like sort of freestyled the whole thing, improvised everything, you know what I mean? And it all just fit into place really. But yeah, I knew it was going to end up that way. I knew it was going to end up shouting and that, you know what I mean? We were going to hype up the fight some way or another. But the beef was all real, you know what I mean? All the same, it was all still real there, do you know what I mean? Both disliked each other at the time, and yeah, man, but I think found some new respect for each other now anyway.
Yeah, we'll come on to sort of the aftermath, but why do you think this fight has sort of captured the imagination of the fight fans? Because the official poster was overtaken by you and Little T's poster within a day. I mean, from the media side of things, the numbers it's generated around us have been the biggest on the card. Is it just because, you know, a lot of people grew up, you know, I was a teenager when you and Little T were having your first beef? Is it stuff like that?
2016, I think, we started BG Media and we started doing all these videos. I think 2016 is the year when Little T really blew up, when he did these viral videos, you know. And yeah, that's how it started, bro, all the way from there, man, this 2016 beef, and I think that's exactly what the people have bought into this week, you know what I mean? Because, you know, no, it's a bit mad, but me and him blew up, you know, I won't say we're worldwide, but we're definitely nationwide, you know what I mean? We're definitely in the UK, so people who grew up in that era, especially, you know what I mean, who rooted for either me or Josh in that time, it would have caused, you know what I mean, some split decisions, man, and yeah, man, might have even broken some hearts to find out that me and him weren't getting on together along, you know what I mean? But we sorted it out now anyway. We're all right now.
And on to a few hours ago, fight night. What's going through your head as you're making that ring walk down into the biggest indoor arena in the UK? I don't know how many thousands of people were there. It was very loud, as I said earlier. It was the fight that a lot of people were looking forward to the most. What's going through your head when the song's playing and you're walking out the box?
The song's playing, not how I feel on top of the world, me. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I've got my ring walk song out. You know, I mean, I've been doing some pad work in the back. I'm feeling dead confident. I'm going out there, and you know what I mean. I was ready to put on the show. Do you know what I mean? I was ready up for it. You know, I looked round and see all the people in the crowd and that, and I just thought, wow, do you know what I mean? All these people here and that, and then that's it, man. The adrenaline started kicking in, and I thought, right, it's ready to go now, innit? Jumped in the ring, and yeah, man, did what I had to do, man.
when the fight's actually going on, I'm sure your coach is giving you some basic pointers to stick to, but does that just go all out the window and it's just pure adrenaline takes over at that stage?
No, you know what? I stuck to the fact that he said, yo, stick to your form and keep your hands up and all this, right? Keep your hands up and do that, you know, just work with the, you know, I was supposed to just work with the jab and give him some straights, nothing fancy, no hooks, no uppercuts, no nothing like that. But then, when I started getting the hits, yeah, it turned from me just holding my hands up to my face to turning round. I couldn't help it. It was just like, you know, get out of that situation. You're trying to hit me in it. So I kept spinning round. And then the ref was like, look, last time, mate. You know what I mean? He kept saying it and saying it. And I was like, mate, I promise you, I'll stop it. But yeah, man, it was good, man. I think I definitely tried to stick to what my trainer did to tell me. But unfortunately, it did go out the window, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it weren't planned.
And the fight came to an early conclusion. I mean, not the conclusion I'm sure you would have wanted or Little T. I was watching it, it looked like something to your bicep, this part of your arm, or was it your shoulder?
Shoulder, yeah. So, often, if I go to the gym, right, even if I lift my arm like backwards or a little bit forwards and I drop that weight on my arm, it could just go out of place. So I think there's always been a long-standing issue with my shoulder, to be honest with you. But it's only ever happened or popped out of place like 5 or 6 times in my whole life. So I weren't expecting it to happen last night. And when it did, I think the blame's on myself, to be honest with you. So every time I kept hitting Josh, right, and turning around, so what I did was, I think on that dig, I think I've gone to hit him and I've turned round and I've just put more weight on the arm, in between that space between my fist and my shoulder, and I put loads of weight on that, and that's what it was, man. Yeah, man, it was self-inflicted.
It's a shame. Well, speedy recovery on the injury. Hopefully it's nothing too long-lasting. You mentioned there the beef with Josh, with Little T, is squashed. What was the first thing you said to each other after the fight? It must have been a crazy feeling.
He came in the room and he said, the first thing he said was, that was a good fight. He said, that was a good fight. He said, that was a good fight. He said, no matter what, that was a good fight. And I said, yeah, man, it was. I said, come on, let's just fucking end this beef, innit? And then he took me hand, gave me a little hug and that, a pat on the back. I gave him a pat on the back, congratulated him, man, and that was it, man, yeah. That was it. I just wished him luck and I congratulated him on his win.
So what's next? I mean, you've got more eyeballs on you, on Josh now than probably since that beef back then. There's so much more things you can go into. Are you going to continue boxing, be it even on the stage? I know you spoke in the build-up about the benefits of boxing for your physical health, for your mental health. Is that something you're going to look to keep doing, the training?
100%, yeah. I'm definitely keen on it now. Like I said, I've got a trainer there in Nottingham, you know, and he's, you know, cryptic, praying mantis. He's hard at it all the time. He's got a fight coming up on the 25th, and he's telling me I'm welcome at any time to go to the gym and train with him for free. Do you know what I mean? Especially whilst this misfits is going on as well. So I like to show people that I've improved and got a little bit of skill behind me now. Do you know what I mean? And we'll see how it goes, man, in like 3 or 4 months from now, man.
Well, judging off the way Mams and co do things, if you generate interest, they'll usually have you back. Just last one, just came into my head. Surely we've got to have you and Josh on a track together now. On
a track? You know what?
Hey, come on.
Wait, I'll do it. Of course you would. For Blackpool, you know what? I'll do it. Trust me. I'd do it, trust me, and the opportunity is definitely up there, and yeah, mate, and you know what, if he was on it, I'd be on it, trust me, I would.
Well, as long as I get 10% of whatever it makes, I'll be happy enough. Dan, I really appreciate you doing it, my man.
Love, bro, thank you, no worries.
Man, Dan.